Welcome, and thank you for taking the time to come today. We're here to talk about something that is rare in conversations about climate change: hope. Not naive optimism, but grounded, science-based hope that comes from asking a bold question. What if we committed to restoring a safe and healthy climate within our lifetime? That's what climate restoration is. It's a new stand for our future. Let's think about how most people talk about climate action. I've heard all these things, and I suspect you have too. We're doomed. The only answer is to stop using fossil fuels. Everything else is a distraction. It's too late. We'll just have to adapt. This mindset is everywhere, and it's deeply depressing. It leaves people feeling powerless. Climate restoration represents a 180-degree shift. Climate restoration research shows that returning to a safe climate is within our reach. It's possible, but it takes a shift in thinking. CO₂ heats up the Earth through the greenhouse effect, causing the climate disasters we see and read about. So let's see where we've been and where we are now. For hundreds of thousands of years, the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere never rose above 300 parts per million. This limited amount of CO₂ in the air largely created the climate that allowed humanity to evolve and to thrive. But today, CO₂ levels are over 425 parts per million. We've loaded the atmosphere with this greenhouse gas, mostly from burning fossil fuels, since the start of the Industrial Revolution. This excess, legacy CO₂ will continue to drive climate change, even if we stop emissions today. Traditional climate action is focused on reducing emissions, which is a good idea for lots of reasons, including human and environmental health. But it won't end the climate crisis. That's because it ignores the CO₂ that's already in the air. Think of our atmosphere like a bathtub. CO₂ is pouring in and filling it up to overflowing. You have to turn off the tap. That's limiting emissions. No more is going in. But if it's overflowing, you also have to open the drain. That's what climate restoration does. It drains out the excess CO₂ that's already heating our planet. And to restore a safe climate, we need to do both. Here you see two futures. One in which we only turn off the tap and limit emissions. In the other, we open the drain and actively pull CO₂ back down to pre-industrial levels. Pursuing the path of climate restoration would turn today's climate crisis into a temporary blip in Earth's history. If we follow the green line, what will we see in the real world? Safer weather patterns, fewer heat waves, floods, and wildfires. More predictable growing seasons, improving food security around the world. People staying in their homes instead of joining a huge mass of climate refugees. Our ecosystems will be able to thrive once again. At this point, you might be wondering, this sounds great, but is it really possible? Well, yes. Here's how we know we can remove 1 trillion tons of CO₂ from the sky. It's been done before. Many times, in fact. Naturally. It happens particularly before ice ages. Large amounts of CO₂ come down, so temperatures come down. About 30 years ago, scientists figured out how this happens. Through biomimicry, they've worked out how we might do the same. Climate restoration starts with a widespread commitment to making it happen. We need to make climate restoration the overarching goal of all climate action. This is where the foundation for climate restoration comes in. We're not developing the tech, we're building the public will to use it and fund the projects. We're changing the conversation from resignation to determination. We educate, we inspire, we connect people and communities, and we help them see their role in this movement. It may sound strange, but until this movement, people weren't even demanding a safe climate, just trying to limit the worst effects of climate change. Once enough people know about and demand climate restoration, everything else, like funding and scaling actual climate restoration projects, will follow. F4CR's vision is a safe climate restored by 2050. Our mission is to create global alignment so that by 2030, restoration becomes the main goal of climate action worldwide. We can't afford to wait until 2049 to start. This is the decade to shift direction while we still have time to make a difference. One simple but powerful way to get involved is by taking the Climate Restoration Pledge. Over 50,000 people have already signed. It's a personal stand saying, I believe in a livable future, and I'm committed to advocating for it. You don't need to have all the answers, just a willingness to speak up and support restoration. Our movement grows with commitments like this. There are lots of ways you can help make climate restoration happen. Learn more on our website, www.f4cr.org. Educate yourself and share what you learn with the people and groups in your life. Share the hope. Talk about restoration at school, work, online. College-age people can join our youth program, which is educating and empowering the younger generations to lead this charge. You can connect with us directly. If you have ideas or if you want to do more, we'd love to hear from you. If the idea of restoring our climate sparks something in you, consider contributing time, skills, or funds. Your support helps us spread this message, empower young leaders, and shift the global climate conversation from doom to determination. We're not waiting for change, we're building it. And with your help, we can go farther, faster. Thank you for standing with us. The future isn't just something we're waiting for. It's something we get to create together.